Sagittarius, welcome to your full moon in Cancer reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising positions for this full moon in Cancer happening on January the 13th. There's been so many interesting messages for the collective. Let's see what we have for Sag. Okay, Tower coming out in reverse. Another sign started off with the Tower as well, I believe. You know, Tower in reverse, Five of Pentacles on the bottom, that's actually kind of interesting. That immediately sort of brings in a feeling that says, if I can accept and let something go, if I can trust what I've realized no longer serves me, I can experience a turning point, even in the material world, where there may even be a shift around perceived losses, a feeling of setbacks, even health-wise. You might even experience a turning point around things that have felt like, kind of chronic. And it all comes with this realization and letting something go, letting things go that no longer serve, which is a perfect message for the full moon. Oh, okay, Empress and Page of Pentacles coming out as the, potential obstacles with the the Knight of Cups on the bottom of the deck. That's interesting. It really does feel like these two cards, in contrast to the Tower with that Knight on the bottom, give this impression of renewal, of authenticity, of, trusting yourself, tapping into your true self to start creating some new opportunities in the material world. And it's like you're picking up the ball. Again, I'm getting tones around health, wellness, really, really grounding yourself. There may be some practices here that, you reinitiate in it's interesting. I'm almost feeling like a message come through. This is very specific, but it's like, if I can kick that addiction and start focusing on my health and wellness, I can really start to feel better and experience better outcomes. And, this Knight of Cups also gives this impression that says, and I can move towards things that really resonate for me, things that really light me up and fill me up. That's lovely, Sagittarius. It really feels like you're ready to pull back from things that don't serve you and to really focus on things that do. Seeing the Three of Cups, lovely celebration around people that are in balance with you. Six of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, where there's sort of this reciprocity and mutual admiration in the Three of Cups, of people that really have your back and want to celebrate your wins and are there sort of to be mutually sort of giving and receiving, right? It's not relationships that feel like one-way streets, but the opposite, where it feels like there's this mutual energy that's ready to be there for you. And that's so lovely, because it really does feel like the challenge here is to focus on yourself. And it's nice to see that there are some folks around you here, Sag, that are going to encourage that. And, that's lovely, because sometimes seeing a Tower in reverse, that involves a bit of acceptance. And it's nice to see that there's some energy around you that would encourage that shift and be there for you if there's some uncomfort there. That's lovely. Really nice energy coming through. High Priestess in reverse. So, that pulls me right back into that Tower card. You've got the Death card on the bottom. So it feels like what's at the root here is something that you've known likely needs to shift. And you may have been resisting it for some time. You might still be resisting it a little bit. But, in this energy of the full moon, which is perfect for releasing things that don't serve us anymore, it's like the message I'm getting is that you're getting real with yourself, and you're looking at something to see, how is this serving me? And it's not. It's almost like that's the conclusion you've already reached. And with the High Priestess in reverse, I wonder if there's been sort of this knowing for some time that this pattern doesn't serve me, this activity doesn't serve me, these relationships don't serve me. Like, it could be in so many different areas, but it's like you've known for some time, and I'm getting this impression that you're getting ready to make this change because you know how big of a change it's going to be. It's going to be a big impact. You know, we saw that Five of Pentacles in reverse with the Tower, which really does feel like a big turning point for you. And I keep getting messages within around health, and taking care of yourself, surrounding yourself with people that you just feel good around, where you're not questioning yourself, or you're not even questioning their intentions, because you just feel like everything's aligned. And that really does come from within. So seeing that High Priestess at the root with the Death card, even in reverse, it just feels like you're starting to trust a part of you that you may have been already receiving guidance from, but sort of resisting that guidance, maybe because of the amount of change it was going to lead to. And you might have not felt ready up until now. Five of Cups with the Hierophant. Yeah, it's like there's something here that may have really felt like a letdown in the recent past. It may have been with, you know, a certain way of doing things in a family, in a group, in your own perception of yourself. And I wonder if for some of you, you've been seeking out guidance, you know, from someone who may have some expert knowledge, you know, with that Hierophant. You may have been seeking this out and thinking, what are some different ways I can approach this? You may have been just, you know, connecting with your higher self, seeing a bridge here between the Hierophant and the High Priestess. And, you know, that Five of Cups, I wonder if there was something that sort of really disappointed you and was kind of emotionally, you needed a minute to process it. And then you were able to, with the Seven of Wands, maybe put in some boundaries, stand up for yourself. And you might still be coming to accept this. I'm sort of getting a feeling that setting these kind of boundaries made you uncomfortable, but you had to trust yourself here. You did what you needed to do to take care of yourself here, Sag, is what I'm feeling. And you know, you may still be in a phase of coming around to accept that standing up for yourself doesn't mean that you have to sort of be feeling guilty or feeling like you did something wrong. The impression I'm getting here is that you may have really stood up for yourself in a way, and it may have made you feel like you let someone else down. But I can't help but think the origin of this five is that you were let down. So really interesting sort of messages already. Where's this taking, Sagittarius? The World. Yeah, you're about to wrap up a cycle, and it's been one that I think you've envisioned with this Seven of Cups on the bottom, but you know, you may need to continue to envision things from the end point. When I see the Seven with the World, it's like looking at it too closely might be the reason this Tower's in reverse, because you're thinking, can I really sever ties in that way? Can I really set those boundaries? Can I really allow this to leave my experience and wrap up a cycle that may have been sort of the way you were doing things for some time? It may have been sort of the status quo, and now that status quo here in the Tower just doesn't work anymore. So it's really interesting. I mean, you know, it's funny. For some of you, this may have involved a relationship with a family member, where you drew a line and said, I'm not allowing this anymore, you know, or I can't be a part of this anymore. And I'm going to choose to focus on relationships where I feel, you know, that camaraderie and that support, where I feel heard and I feel accepted, and I can move freely in the relationship, where, you know, and it feels like there may have been something that let you down that led to this. Interesting seeing that Seven of Wands where you're setting some boundaries. Seven of Cups now in the upcoming energy with the World, where you're wrapping something up and starting to visualize, okay, I'm going to really do things differently moving forward in certain areas. And I wonder how you're envisioning what that will look like. It's the inner shift for Sagittarius. Wheel of Fortune coming out in reverse with Judgment for the inner shift. So you got to let go here. It's interesting, you know, with Judgment, it's like you have had some big epiphanies. You've had some big realizations, and some of them may be making you wonder, am I going in the right direction, or am I moving away from the right direction? When the Wheel of Fortune's in reverse, I often think that we're making some moves that are so new that we're really trying to trust ourselves. And at first, it may feel like you're questioning more than trusting. You may be feeling like, can I really trust what I've realized, or am I making a step that's in the wrong direction, or am I trying to control things too much? Do I really just need to let go and let things fall where they may, instead of always trying to control maybe other people's reactions or how other people may feel about you? That Seven of Cups stays on the bottom of the deck. So this feels like it could be a work in progress for the rest of the cycle for this full moon. Perhaps when we get to the new moon in a couple of weeks, you'll feel a little bit different about this shift. And perhaps you'll have let go a little bit more and trusted a little bit more and celebrated a little bit more. That's lovely. Justice in reverse is the outer shift. Yeah, someone in your life may never really take accountability for how they made you feel. And that's okay. We have to own our own feelings. But I wonder if, this is, with the King of Cups, I can't help but think this is, if the relationship aspect of this reading is resonating for you, then it does feel like there may be something here that has shown you something about your emotions, and you might be holding someone accountable in a new way to say, that didn't feel good. And if you want me in your life, then you have to sort of work with me in a way that feels better than that, and a little bit more balanced, right? When we saw the Three of Cups, it was with the Six of Pentacles, and I was talking a lot about reciprocity and mutual energy of give and take in relationships. And so I wonder if seeing this Justice card says, if something's a one-way street, I'm just not interested. And I'm looking for energy that's going to match mine. I'm looking for energy that's going to meet me where I'm at. And if it doesn't, that's okay. It's sort of the let them idea. Like, if someone's not going to meet you where they are, then let them continue to do what they're doing. But you don't necessarily have to be present for that. You can hold someone accountable, even if they're not necessarily holding themselves accountable. Do you know what I mean? And if there's a situation where you're anticipating someone to come in and apologize or say, I'm sorry, I wonder that may be part of a message that I'm sort of feeling for someone. You may be needing to have more of an allowance for that. Sometimes people do say they're sorry and they do try to take accountability, but I wonder if in some ways, looking at these cards, these major arcana cards, it's like this may have just gone too far, and you may just be feeling like, thank you for the apology, but I think I'm still going to leave this boundary where it is, because I know what works for me. And that's really interesting. That may be a specific message for someone. Let's see here. Yeah, another major arcana, lots of stuff shifting for Sag. You got the Chariot in reverse with the Hangman in reverse. So it's like, I wonder if your hopes and fears are related to forward movement and feeling like you're understanding things from a perspective that allows you to shift into, shift forward, not shifting into a place where you may be feeling stuck, right? With the, seeing the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot, it makes me think that may be a concern for you, that I hope I'm not making any changes in my life that feel like I'm not integrating the wisdom that I'm, what is this experience teaching me about myself, but am I projecting it onto someone else? And is that going to lead me to be stuck, or I want to break free? I want to move forward. So, Sag, it's interesting. You may need some time, and it may be that this shift is a bit uncomfortable because it's so new. I keep getting this impression that it may be that it's the first time you've really spoken your truth about something or indicated how you really felt about something, and it may be making you more uncomfortable because you're not used to that. You know, you might be used to sort of keeping the peace or being the one that sort of smooths things over, even if it's at your own expense. And it's like you're not doing that anymore. So I wonder if you just need to be in this for a minute to sort of allow it to sink in and feel more comfortable. Yeah, Six of Cups, exactly. Like this feels like a pattern from a long time ago. Ten of Cups in reverse. It's like, yeah, you can't go back to a previous way of doing something because it was affecting, you know, for some of you, this is family. I can't shake that. Family or someone really close to you that has, it's like you've shifted how you're allowing that relationship to be. And I feel like seeing the Six of Cups in reverse is saying, I can't emotionally be in that place anymore. I need to rise above how I was feeling. I can't go back to that. It's like you've realized something about a pattern maybe that you've been, you know, sort of keeping going for some time. And I think recently you were you know, in a position to change that pattern. And it might really go against the way things have been done in your family or in this relationship, or just like I said, the status quo. You've shifted the status quo in an area here, and you're trying to just get used to this. And that may take a minute, you know, and that's okay. It's like, you know, look how many major arcana cards you have here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. I mean, that's a lot. These are big moments in our own development and our understanding of ourself. So there's been a big shift here. So be gentle with yourself, Sag. Be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to feel the discomfort without running back to maintain that status quo. Yeah. You know, you got Thinker coming out of the Oracle deck, which kind of brings in this feeling for me that says, I still need to process this. It's been a big shift. And you know, it's important to be flexible because you've shifted your perception on something. You've shifted your outlook, and it can take us some time to get used to something new. But I can't help but think that you told the truth. You said something that was true about how you were feeling, and it's likely been a cycle that you've gone round and round with. Like we've seen here in the tarot cards, this is something that I think you've been maintaining some kind of balance that didn't feel balanced for you. And it may have really, you know, we saw with that Five of Pentacles with the Tower, something around even your physical health. Like you might be experiencing some physical stuff that's going to really turn around the more you accept the changes here that are really true to you. And you got fork in the road. So there's that energy of the Wheel of Fortune coming out saying, you know, allow this redirection to happen and trust it, and then go the distance with it. Keep going. Don't give up. I often think of the Nine of Wands when I see this card, where you may be feeling like, I don't know if I can keep going. I don't know if I can let this tower fall fully. Maybe I should go in and try and repair some of it to keep the relationship a little bit, you know. But it's like that Six of Cups, all of these major arcana cards, even the oracle cards, are sort of encouraging you to see that it wasn't in balance. There was something here that was deeply unfulfilling for you, where it may have felt like there was just, I can't help but think that you may have been keeping something going because of a feeling of love. But what about the self-love? What about the love that you must show yourself? See what the Moonology cards, oh, that fell on the floor. One sec. Cards are flying. Bring love to the situation. Yeah, that's so funny. We were just talking about that. The idea of you maybe trying to keep something because you genuinely love you love this person, or you love something about the past. Like the Six of Cups gives us that feeling of, you know, sentimentality, nostalgia, deep emotional attachment. But I, you know, just what I was just saying earlier was that what about the love for yourself? That must be expressed as well. And emotions are really running high. Bottom of the deck is a supermoon. So it does feel like processing this is going to take some time. It's going to take some love. It may take some supportive friends, some allies that you want to talk to about this, that you feel will not push you back into the status quo. Don't let your past hold you back. Yeah. This is a past connection, and you know, it feels like family in some cases for someone, but take it as it resonates. If there's an energy in your life that you've been feeling, I need to do this for myself. I need to shift how I'm proceeding because of how it's making me feel. Trust it. Trust it. And you know, it's interesting. You've got nothing will come of this situation on the bottom of the deck, which feels like you've got to let that tower fall. For the love of yourself and the forward motion that sets you free. All right, my friends, that's the message I have for you. I hope that's been helpful. Thank you for joining me for this full moon in Cancer reading, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.